Saguaro Lake with the brand new Toyota Rav4, the 2026 redesigned 6th generation. It's fully hybrid now. Today I'm bringing you the XSE. This is one of the sportiest models, and it can be had in a plug-in hybrid. However, this is the standard hybrid model. So I'm going to tell you what it's been like to drive through these twisty canyon roads. What are my thoughts on it? Is it a good buy? Well, we don't know pricing quite yet. We just know that the cheapest trim level of the new Rav4 costs in the low 30s. All right, this one being an XSE, with how much equipment it has, I can only guess. We'll have pricing closer to launch. Launch for the new Rav4 is December. All right, so December, January, you'll start to see these vehicles land at dealerships. All right, but first of all, let's get under the hood. Let's talk about the powertrain of this all new, all hybrid, whether it's standard hybrid or plug-in hybrid, Toyota Rav4 for this 6th generation. Smart key access here on the front. That's a nice feature. Cracking the hood, closing it. What does it sound like? Sounds like a Toyota. All right, I love this. This looks so clean here. The Toyota badge on top, and it's kind of sticking out. That is different. I was with an XLE earlier, and it was kind of pressed into the bumper. This badge is kind of sticking off. All right, so lifting up this lightweight hood, we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid setup. Okay, the XSE here, I believe, comes in standard all-wheel drive, but if you want front-wheel drive, you can get it on the LE, the XLE, maybe even the SE model as well. Okay, this has 236 horsepower and all-wheel drive. You can get this with the plug-in hybrid as well, which is going to give you 324 horsepower. Around 40 miles per gallon is what you're going to see with this model. Highway might be a little bit lower than that, and city be a bit above that. Let's go ahead and close this down. The front end here, it's a very similar pattern to what I saw on the XLE that I drove just before this. However, this has the upgraded daytime running lights. All Rav4s now have LED nighttime lights, okay? And then this has been an XSE feature for a long time, is this additional garnish light here on the edge. There's nothing functional here. You know, on the Limited, there's a circular fog lamp here, all right, but this has that vertical bar that it does actually share, I think, with the SE model, all right? Glossy black bits on the bottom to match kind of the hammerhead glossy bezel right there, and inside that bezel will hide some of the sensors and equipment for Toyota Safety Sense 4.0, and I'll tell you what it's like to drive here in a little bit with those safety features. Coming around to the side, we have 20-inch standard wheels here on this XSE with the gloss black finish. This has a two-tone roof, so a black roof here, black roof rails, pano roof above as well. Glossy black to continue from the front bumper to the wheel arches to the kind of the bottom portion here. I love that line, right, that comes up. I like how it's not too soft. There are some nice hard edges to that line that comes up. And you know, I think the new Rav4 is a bit boxy. It's got a big rear end. All right, the previous one cut in a little bit more, but this gives you more cargo space as a result. All right, coming to the rear. All right, here, let's go and turn on the taillights so you get a better idea of what those taillights look like. We're in the direct sun here in the desert. Okay, look at these striation of the taillights. I think it looks really, really, really sharp. However, it does look a little bit like a Rogue. I saw a Rogue when I entered this park, and I thought it was the new Rav4 from the back, but hey, it is what it is. What do the turn signals look like? Because turn signals are typically a flex if you have some nice lights. Okay, the top and the bottom turn amber here. I like that. We have a nice little LED turn signal there on the side. So we come to the rear. It's just this portion right here, but man, is that a huge upgrade from the old Rav4 taillights, where there was a single LED beam that would just blind the drivers. Okay, I like the all-wheel drive badge here, Beyond Zero hybrid logo there, blacked out here on this XSE model. All right, you know, instead of a fully glossy black bumper here, I like how they put some silver garnish there to break it up. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the lift gate, scuff plates here on the bottom, and it is illuminated. That is a nice touch. Rav4 Toyota, I don't know if I've seen anyone do that before, where you have the traditional Toyota font here with a separate Rav4 logo. We have a nice rubber mat, JBL sound system. I will tell you, it sounds okay. All right, it is definitely better than the base system, but it's nothing that, yeah, it's not that impressive still. One LED light in the back, a little storage compartment. You know, the XLE had a spare tire, so does this XSE model. That's what I'm talking about. You can fold down the seat 60/40 behind that tonneau cover. We have an automated lift gate. Getting into the back seat, hard touch up top, soft touch here, kind of a gray panel. All right, and on the inside we have this suede on the seat, blue stitching. Pretty nice. And I like the rubber mats here at the bottom. Let's go and turn off that turn signal. There we are. And the Rav4 has great headroom, you know, big panel roof here, great leg room, mat pockets, USB-Cs, vents right here. Pretty fantastic back seat. Do these recline at different angles? Yes. One, maybe just two. One and two. Just two different angles there, but that's nice to have that. A lot of SUVs don't have that feature. All right, on the inside of the Rav4 2026, man, this is a complete departure. This screen's huge. Let's just get that out of the way. This screen, this 12-inch screen is massive. This 12-inch screen is standard, so even on the base LE model, you get a big old screen back there, which is highly customizable. I'm still getting used to it. It's gonna take me some time, but there's like 5 different presets and you can customize each one. Pretty cool. This screen's big, but the 10-inch screen is more than enough for most people. I think you'd be happy with it. I love the volume knob, temperature control buttons, and I do have manual, sort of. It's digital fan speed, but it's always up on the screen, so you always have that option to play with it. Now, this screen technology is the new Toyota Arena software. We've been waiting for it for a long time, and I have to say, it's pretty good. All right, it's snappy. It works really well, and it's very simple. That's the way software should be in a car. It needs to be super simple, big things to hit while you're driving. In fact, I'd say the 10-inch screen is better because I can reach most of it from the bottom here, like boom, hit this, hit my physical buttons, and I can play around with the screen a little bit. I still have that access with resting my finger here, but with the screen being so big, to stabilize myself, I kind of have to move my hand all over the place. However, it's still pretty good. All right, it's I would say one of the best software implementations out there on the market. Well done, Toyota. It's been a long time coming. It's pretty cool. What is this? Like, I'm still learning. Oh, wow. Look how easy it is to turn off the things I don't like. That's cool. How about we do all, because I don't like, you know, like proactive driving. Assist. Good, it's turned off. Good. So it's like just easier to get to your stuff, man. Also, there's a little green camera here. This does have, I believe it's standard throughout the Rav4 lineup, and I could be wrong, but there's a camera here for drive cam. All right, so you have your own, I don't know, safety camera just in case you want to protect your car while you're driving. So that's under drive recorder. Pretty neat. I like that. Let's see here. I'm not going to play with the screen too much because it gets a bit boring. All right. But yeah, you can even customize this screen. You can pull in your phone if you don't want the music here. But I think this is a great side-by-side. They're trying to mimic Android Auto, which, by the way, it is wireless, but I do have USB-C connectivity for it too. All right. 2 USB-Cs here, 360 camera. And 360 camera, it hasn't really, yes, there's like this 3D effect to it. I mean, I guess that's cool, but the quality really hasn't gone up generation to generation. All right, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of this shift knob. It feels good, this little tiny little lever to get into your different drive selects, like park and drive and reverse. But I like the satisfaction of clicking it in with that old school shifter that you have on the XLE, for example. Wireless charger here. I have different drive, or should I say off-road modes, trail, snow. Is that it? Trail, snow, and normal. Okay. And then you have different drive modes as well that I can cycle through. And then you have cool animations on your big MID over there. You have an EV mode, but those are pretty much worthless unless you're in the plug-in hybrid. All right, with that being said, I don't have any blindy features in here. It's been super sunny this morning, as you guys can tell. It's very glary. I have not been blinded. Look at all this. This is all like anti-reflective materials. The only thing that's reflective is maybe the bezel on the screen. I get a little bit of it, but very, very minimum, and I'm very happy with that. Okay, I like how low the dash sits. It gives me a better sense of the road. A little storage compartment up here, which is rubber mounted. Very well done. This also has that fancy self-parking feature. I've never used it in a Toyota in all my years of driving Toyota and Lexus models. I think it's overkill, but that's just me. So with that being said, I don't have aluminum pedals here. That's gonna be the GR Sport model. And I do have an illuminated Rav4 skid plate over there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and buckle up. Yes, we do have suede inserts here on these ventilated XSE seats. Let's put it into drive. We're gonna flip a U-turn. Let's not run into the cliff wall. That would be bad. And it'll just give you a better idea as I back up here of the 360 camera. Really, really nice. Not necessary to have, but it's pretty good. Now, the only other model I've driven so far, not the Woodland that you see, the only one I've driven so far is the XLE. Okay, and the XLE was pretty firm. How's the firmness here on this model? Well, I would say it's just as firm, seemingly. All right, even though the wheel size is bigger, the 20-inch wheels versus the 18-inch wheels on the XLE, it still feels to be about the same firmness. Okay, so the new Rav4 is a firmer vehicle. Again, I haven't driven the Rav4 Woodland yet. Okay, shout out to Tom Volk. Driven with Tom Volk, pretty sure that's his channel name. Good guy, hard worker, has some of the craziest camera setups out there. All right, going over the speed bumps, pretty nice. All right. I like that my Android Auto pulls up turn by turn, top down map navigation here on the MID. So if I choose not to be in Android Auto here, I still have it popping up on my MID, which is a very, very lovely thing. Oh shoot, look at this. Boat trailer parking only, screw that. Single vehicle, I'm gonna park there next time. That was beautiful. Man, there's some amazing places here to park and get some good film. Heck yeah. All right, so does the XSE handle better than the XLE? And the answer is, I think it's negligible. I was really impressed with the handling of the XLE. You're not gonna get much better handling unless you go to the GR Sport. Man, this backdrop here. Well, let's talk to Jared real quick. Is that a good enough view for you guys? Let me know. Oh man, that is absolutely stunning. And there's a nice GR Sport right there for Matt Marinowski from Matt Moran Motoring. Shameless plug right there to Car Buzz Jared on the side of the road, who was on the phone. He could not be bothered. All right, as well as Matt Moran from Matt Moran Motoring. Guys, this is just a star-studded cast today. Now, there's definitely less engine vibration compared to the previous generation. With this 5th gen hybrid system, it's smooth, it's mostly quiet, it doesn't drone as much as you go uphill. I think I'm in a custom drive mode. Yeah, let's just go back to normal. I'm okay with that. It's been very, ooh, what is that? It's a Toyota Crown. You don't see too many of those. It's been a very twisty road experience so far. And I have driven this quite a bit at highway. So ride quality here, like I said, it's a little bit on the firm end, but it makes up for it in the handling. All right, comfort here is fine. I really like where my knee sits on this big flat panel that they have right here. That really has a nice, comfort factor for me, where I like to put my knee. All right, over here it is hard touch, and you could probably stick on your own soft knee pad over there if you would like. We're gonna do a 0 to 60 here. Dual motor, all-wheel drive. I'm gonna say, the Camry's around like 7 seconds. Since this is dual motor, it doesn't really get that much more horsepower to make up for the weight addition. All right, but we're gonna torque brake. Oh, good launch, jeez. Holy cow, was not expecting that. I twisted, I was burning some rubber there. Okay, 7.41. Okay, going slightly uphill, 0.3% grade. All right, 7.41 to 60 and 7.87 to 100 kilometers per hour. I think that's plenty fine, especially when you're getting 40 miles per gallon. I'm not getting 40 after that, that's for sure, but that's fantastic. I think it's right up there with some of the best in class acceleration, but it's also going to have best in class noise NVH up there with like the CRV hybrid. It's going to have probably best in class fuel economy. No one's quite cracked the code to match Toyota's fuel economy quite yet. Hyundai has more next gen hybrids coming. We'll see what kind of efficiency those bring. But in the meantime, Toyota's still the hybrid king. That's 5th generation, smoother, quieter, more powerful, and just as efficient, if not a little bit more efficient than the outgoing generation. All right. So I've driven this quite a bit at 70 miles an hour, and I'm surprised with how quiet it is. This XSE does not have acoustic glass. All right, so we passed this Corolla here, pretty darn quiet. Road noise, it's seemingly less road noise in this one, but this is probably just a really good stretch of road. All right, where the XLE I was driving mostly in town and the roads weren't that great compared to this really nice road here to the lake. But it's really, really quiet. No wind noise right now at 60 miles an hour. And even at 70 miles an hour, and like that semi didn't push me over at all. I barely even noticed it going by me. So just it's going to be a good mile muncher. It's going to be a great point A to point B in town as well. And that's it. That's the Rav4 is this Swiss Army knife, okay? And you can pick what kind of style of Swiss Army knife you get, whether you want the base front wheel drive LEs to the fancier XLEs, or you can get the plug-in hybrids if you want the added performance and flexibility of that fully electric 50 miles of range, okay? And they've made this interior very livable. Very livable. No, I don't have the rotary dial of the old fan speed or temperature control, but the auto in here works really well, and I'm happy about that. I will say, and this is a pre-production model, so I'm not going to hold it against this car, but this XSE, this panel roof has had a little bit of a rattle to it. It doesn't seem like it's production ready. All right, if that sort of thing worries you and getting the handling here is pretty good. Actually, I don't know, maybe the XLE felt a little bit snappier in the turns, okay? The steering feels a little bit stiffer than the XLE, and some people might really like that, and maybe as a result the vehicle feels heavier, but I don't know, there's something about how easy that XLE flew into turns, and maybe it was front wheel drive, so it was lighter, just a little bit lighter, so it just felt a little bit better in the turns than this sportier XLE model. Again, the best one in the turns is going to be the GR Sport that's been tuned and designed for taking turns. All right, I'm going 76 here and I didn't even know it. Now I can start hearing a little bit of wind noise. Is it bad? No, but there's no road noise. It's zero. Zero tire and road noise right now. It's just, wind noise coming off the mirrors. Let's get into the radar cruise control. This is what's been very surprising. This Toyota Safety System 4, which is new on this model. It is crazy good. All right, and what do I mean by that? Well, typically in most cars that have steering assist, it's a bit herky-jerky in the steering wheel. You feel it correcting all the time. This feels like a human being moving the steering wheel in really, really small increments. So it's a very smooth steering assist here that is absolutely fantastic. One of the best I've ever tested. So that's been a big surprise for me testing this vehicle today. So the seat is as low down as it can get with this power seat. All right. I like how I can see the hood. I can see to the end of the hood here. And the dash seems super duper low, which gives me, like I said, a better sense of command of the road. I can see things more. And like it feels smaller than what it is because of just how I can see the hood very well. All right. And it slopes down. Like it just feels kind of like a compact vehicle still, even though it's gotten bigger in the back cargo, it still feels kind of like compact on the inside here. Do I feel small or do I feel smashed in? No. I feel very at home here in the RAV4. Very impressed with this vehicle overall. Am I impressed with the XSE? Not really. Okay, does it do anything better than the XLE that I had before? I mean, the sound system's better, but that doesn't, I mean, that's... The XSE here is more of a style flex. You get the cool daytime running lights, the cool vertical lights up front. You get the cooler wheels. Honestly, I think I like the XLE more. Maybe it's because the interior was that beige and it was just more of a bright and cheery interior. All right, but this is still a fantastic, like if you like the XSE, get it. Like it's cool looking, and that's a great thing. You have your smorgasbord of flavors with the new RAV4. Low 30s is going to get you the front wheel drive LE, which is not here unfortunately. All right, and then you know the GR Sport's probably going to be 50,000. I don't know. We don't know. I would assume that's the range topping model with how much work that they put in by the Kazoo racing team to make it more performance focused. And you know, the XSE plug-in hybrid would be probably fairly expensive as well. All right, so here's the thing. You know, you get the Woodlands too if you like more of the outdoorsy look, which I prefer the outdoorsy look over this model. Again, that's just personal preference. You just have whatever you want, and you can get the plug-in hybrid if you want. I'm a big fan of the plug-in hybrid. I've yet to drive it today, but if I'm getting I would probably be happy getting an SE plug-in hybrid over an XSE hybrid. And I bet the price would be pretty similar because I get the flexibility and the extra juice of that powertrain. So, you know, XSE, great. Get it if you want it. You know, it's wouldn't be high on my list. It'd probably be one of the last vehicles on my list, but I haven't driven the Limited. I might say the same thing about the Limited. And what I mean by vehicles on my list, I mean trim levels of the RAV4. I bet the LE is just an amazing home run, just like the Camry LE is. The XLE Premium I was very impressed with. All right, so I will see you guys in the comments. Let me know which trim level you'll be going with. Woodland is pretty hot for me. I really like the Woodland, so thank you guys. My voice is getting tired. I got to shut it down. I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, it's yelling at me because my hands were off the wheel. Just does such a good job. Does it turn for me? I think it did. Yeah, it just turned for me, which is cool. All right, anyways, I'm shutting it down. I'll see you in the next RAV4 video. Stay safe out there and peace.